Hello and welcome to Everything Reviewed with James Canoop. I'm James Canoop, and today we are going to review a cookie that you may have heard of before called Oreos. Now, if you haven't heard of Oreos before, you're missing out because this is a cookie unlike any other cookie, except for the knockoff version you can buy at Walmart. So this cookie is cool for a host of reasons. First of all, it's got a really pretty cool, neat design that you can see. It's kind of blurry. There we go. Kind of a cool design, almost like you are buying a piece of art when you buy this. And then, of course, the classic Oreo right there in the middle. And it's like this on both sides. So aesthetically, it's a good-looking cookie. Another thing to note about this cookie is it's kind of like a couple of cookies in one. So you've got see the top cookie, which is a chocolate cookie, the bottom cookie, which is the same thing, it's another chocolate cookie, and then in the middle you have what's like a white cream frosting sort of thing in the middle there. Now. So that's how it looks. Now let's go to the tasting part. A couple of things with eating an Oreo cookie. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Actually, several different ways. Maybe a host of ways to do it, depending on who you ask. But today, we are going to only examine 3 of the ways that you can eat a cookie, an Oreo cookie. And the first is the classic way. You just take a bite. Okay, so a couple of things. I'll start with the bad things first, and then we'll go to the good things. So the two things to note that are less than satisfactory. It's kind of crumbly. You may have noticed I dropped a piece in my hand, and then I ate it, which is not a deal breaker. It's just something to know. If you are looking for a cookie that is not very crumbly and does not fall in your hand, then the Oreo cookie is not the cookie for you. The other thing to notice is that it gets stuck in your teeth. I'm still working on some of the pieces that are in my teeth. So if you do not want to spend much time licking your teeth or picking crumbs out of your teeth, this is also not the cookie for you, the Oreo cookie. Do not buy this. But a couple of good things. When I took the bite, it had a nice crunch to it. Not too much, not the kind of crunch that like breaks your teeth or is too crunchy, but just a nice crunch. And that crunch continues as you eat it. And so I like that. I also like the ratio between the chocolate and the vanilla. I think that the chocolate I'm catching more notes of chocolate than the frosting, but I think I like that. It's mostly chocolate cookie with a little bit of frosting mixed into the taste. There are people, however, that want you may find yourself wanting more frosting, and if you do, I have good news for you. At most stores that sell the Oreo cookie, they also sell double stuffing cookies. So it's like you get this, but with more in the middle, and so you can enjoy it that way too. And that way, you get kind of an equal amount between the chocolate and the frosting, instead of what I mentioned, more chocolate and less frosting. So that's the first way to eat the Oreo cookie. I'll set this aside for now. The other way to eat an Oreo cookie that's very famous is to take the cookie and then to turn one side of the cookie one way and the other side of the cookie the other way, like this. Oh, there we go. And you see what happens then is one side does not have much frosting, just a little bit, and the other side has a lot of frosting, in fact almost all of the frosting. And so then what you can do is one of two things. you can eat the one with less frosting or the one with more frosting first. I'm going to eat the one with less frosting. That's good. So what I'm getting here is almost entirely just a chocolate cookie, with just the hintiest hint of the frosting, but mostly just a chocolate cookie, and it's delicious. But now, watch this. I'm going to take a bite of the one with more frosting. That's really good. And you see what's happening here is that I'm getting equal notes of the frosting and the chocolate, which is the same thing that you get when you buy the double frosting. So really, I would go with the regular Oreo cookie, because then you get a chocolate cookie and the cookie that you wanted when you bought the double frosting cookie. So do what you want, but this is the way that I would do it if I were you. But I'm not, and I do not pretend to be you, so do what you want, please. Okay. The last way to eat an Oreo cookie, well, at least the last way in this video, is to take the regular cookie without twisting it and to dip it in a glass of milk. Now, I don't know how long to do it. I guess that's up to you. You could do a classic quick dip, or you could hold it in there for a while. Now, I will say this. The longer you hold it, the mushier it will get. So if you like to dip your cookie and then eat it and basically not even eat it, just have it melt into your mouth, then I would hold it in the milk for a very long time. But for this video's purposes, we're going to do the classic quick dip and see how that tastes. So I'm going to hold this cup of milk, I'm going to dip it and then take it out. Maybe a little bit longer than a quick dip. Hold it just for a second and then pull it out. Okay, so let's take a bite. That is a very different experience than eating it without the milk. How do I describe it? It's almost like when you take the bite, you expect the crunch of the Oreo cookie, but there's no crunch. It kind of just turns into like a piece of fudge that you would buy or something like that. But the classic Oreo cookie flavor is still there. Now for viewing purposes, I am going to do the long hold. So I'm going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Okay, lots of dripping. I stand corrected. I think I like the long dip better than the quick dip because you get lots of milk flavor. Ooh, that's good. That might be my favorite way to eat it, the long hold. It's almost like buying the double filling cookie by dipping it in a long time because you get the milk and the cream and the chocolate, and the chocolate all in one bite. It's very delicious. So if you're in the mood for a delicious treat, the Oreo cookie is sold at most stores, and there's so many different ways to eat it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, for everything reviewed, watch Everything Reviewed with James Canup. I'm James Canup. Thank you.